Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer. Welcome back to European Truck Simulator 2. And welcome to Kiel. Is it not Kiel? I before E makes it Kyle, right? If it were Keil, that would be Kiel. Would it? I could be wrong about that. I'm not I'm not too up on my German pronunciation. Not like I should be. Hey, we swapped out trucks. We're in the Pendragon Volvo. I saw the modders say they're not going to support it beyond 1.36, and I thought this could be our last opportunity to drive it, so let's do just that. Now, this is really just a big tuning pack for the base game Volvo, so as long as nothing really changes in the physics of the base game truck or things like advanced coupling, I think we should be okay to just swap out the game version number in the manifest, but just in case I'm wrong, let's go ahead and drive this thing. And for our trailer, and I've been running the B-doubles off camera. They're kind of a pain in the ass. They really are. So we're going just with a single, and I threw a lift gate on the back. And these KAST trailers. KAST? Cast? I don't know. It's all caps, so I say KAST. But they make this this mod pack. These are carry trailers. They are really, really cool. Let's go pick up some, I don't know, something. We're taking it up to Denmark. Biggest thing that I get to tell you about, well, you know what? Let me turn these off so we don't have any sound interference. And before we get rolling, we are running a Captain K sound pack for this truck, which I think sounds great. It's from 2016. Hasn't been updated since 2016. Works just great. But like I said, this is the base game truck, so I figured it would. Right. We're also running Naturalux. Naturalux is a weather and lighting mod. They don't call it a realistic graphics mod, which I really appreciate. I'm a little on the fence about that term. You know, what is realistic? Everybody's got kind of a different vision of what realistic is. I'm going for it. But weather and lighting, I think that's something that's a little bit more, I don't know. In a way, it's a lot more subjective, because, you know, one person's idea of what lighting should be is not necessarily realistic. It's just lighting. And then on the other side of that coin is the weather, and weather is weather, and we can all look at weather and agree that looks like real weather, that does not. So they call it a weather and lighting mod. There's 250 skyboxes. That's crazy. That's too many. Keep in mind, the person telling you that is autistic and OCD. Even by my standards, that's crazy. It's way too many skyboxes. But that's how many they put in. They do things with the alpha channels and the clouds, so you can drive in and out of clouds and shadows. The list is unbelievable on the website for Naturalux. They do. They change the rain. There's a little detail that I really like. The intensity of the rain can vary within a rain cycle. So as it is right now, it starts raining. Right, in base game, it starts raining, it rains, and then it slows down and stops. Well, with Naturalux, the intensity of the rain can go up and down while it's still raining. Right, just because it's getting better doesn't mean it's about to stop. It can get better and then get worse again, like real life. I like that. Let me see what else. There are sound, I guess, improvements or adjustments. But if you're running the sound fixes pack, you can still use it. You just need a compatibility add-on, which we have installed. As we pull in here, you'll be able to see the icons are different. That's the subtle floating icon pack. Also have that installed. Get that stopped. All right, get down to neutral. Set the brake. Let's find our job. Cargo market. Fish fingers. How could I forget that? Who could forget fish fingers? Where is it? It's got to be right behind my mirror. Yep, it is. Okay. Yeah, that's the other thing it swaps out, is rather than the big sort of glowing white rectangle, it replaces it with 2 paper signs and a much thinner sort of loading designation. You can turn them off altogether. There's another add-on you can get that completely disables them. Now for something like this, I think it would still have some indication, you know, maybe the paper signs or something. Because where else, you know, you can't just start pulling into stalls by chance till you get the right one. But for fuel stops and toll booths and that sort of thing, I think it gets rid of them completely, and you just need to know the game well enough to know where things are. In fact, it says in the notes, if you want to turn the icons off completely, it's only recommended for expert players. So, that's the gist of Naturalux. Sorry, concentrating. You know me. Alright, right in there. Right in there. One swing. No. No way. That never happens. It still might not. Let's not get ahead of yourself there, ill will. There we are. So set the brake. Turn this off. Get loaded up. Now you did see the snowflakes on the windscreen. We're running the December add-on. There are, I want to say, about 6 months represented right now, like July through December. And put the truck lift axle down and the trailer lift axle up. Brake is off. Here we go. December was the closest I could get to the month that it really is, which is January. But we will see snow when it rains, snow on the windscreen, and we'll also see the days will be much shorter, particularly as we go further north. So even though it's only going on 2 in the afternoon, the sun will most likely set while we're on this trip. And hopefully you'll be able to see a nice sunset. Something else that I like about Naturalux is it doesn't always have to, there doesn't always have to be something happening. From time to time, there's just a blue sky with no clouds, as there is in real life. Sometimes that's all you get. And I appreciate that. I don't necessarily want a mod to constantly be sort of showing itself off. Some mods, it's okay to be subtle. Doesn't bother me at all. So, right through there. There we are. And we're rolling. I will tell you, it's kind of a pain in the ass to download. It takes you got to jump through some hoops. But, you know, everybody got their hustle. Everybody trying to make that money. Good for you. So if you find yourself wondering, like, wait, am I doing this right? Yeah, you are. It just takes a lot of, like, it's just weird. It's about 5 gig when it comes in, and it is beta. They're still working on it. There are 2, I don't want to call them complaints, but there are 2 things that I've noticed about the mod. One is the nighttime lighting. We might see this depending on how late we're out, how late we get in. The nighttime lighting, particularly when you're on, in America we call them freeways, interstates, you know, big 6-lane highway. Now in base game, the overhead signs are lit from below by lights that are attached to the sign, right? Yeah, I'm like almost positive of that. Well, it seems like with this mod, that's deactivated, and the only lighting that is on those signs at all is from both you the player, and also from NPCs. But the way that the lights hit the signs, it's like it happens very late and very quickly. So the sign is completely dark, and then just as a car passes right underneath it, it's like their headlights are pointed up at a 45-degree angle, and they just kind of flash over the sign as the car drives under it. It's, in my opinion, it needs a little bit more adjusting. But we'll see. Come on now. There you go. So we'll see. And I did, I actually went to the forum and started a post and said, you know, am I missing something? Is there a setting? Is there a mod conflict? This is not, visually, it doesn't quite look like anything I've ever seen before in real life. So we'll see if we can get that sorted out. So that is one thing. And then the other thing, and this is absolutely no fault of the modder, the other thing is this game really doesn't support atmospheric haze and particulate and fog and that sort of stuff. So when you try to make those effects happen, the only way to really do it is by lightening the trees that are various distances from the camera. And what you can end up with sometimes is trees that are just sort of flat and gray and glowing. It's a really not a realistic effect. But it's the only way to make fog happen in this game. Now, when the sky behind is the right color, or I guess the appropriate color, or when things just sort of all come together, it looks fine. It looks like foggy trees in the distance. It's when you have the sort of the wrong color sky behind those glowing trees, and it just, the whole thing just kind of collapses as far as immersion goes. So if we see that, I'll point it out to you, but that is no fault of the modder. Like I said, it's really not even any fault of SCS. It's just the limitations of the engine that they're working with. So that's what's going on. Naturalux, do check it out, and it's free, of course. I don't know if they ever plan to charge for it, but I'd pay for it. I'd certainly pay, I don't know, probably $10 for it. It's a cool mod. And what else is going on? I saw a notification this week that Farm Sim 2021 will not be released in November of 2020 as what the previous 3-4 versions of the game have been. Interesting. Okay. Let's see where things go. I'm curious how it all works out. Now, what Giant said is they want to see what direction the new consoles are going in. Okay. You know, that doesn't entirely ring true to me, and I'll tell you why. I think people that are going to buy the new consoles are not going to buy them to play Farm Sim. I think people that are going to buy those, because, I mean, on day one, they're going to be what? The new Xbox is supposed to be like $1,000. It's like a supercomputer inside. It's crazy. Nobody's buying that to play Farm Sim. That's a different type of gamer. And that's not to say that there aren't people that play, you know, those types of games and also Farm Sim. But, you know, and then the other side of that coin is people that play Farm Sim on console are not going to run out to buy a new console to play it on. It's not that kind of game. I don't, it sounds horrible to say, but whatever, like Giants cares about my opinion. I don't think Giants has the technological ability to even build a game capable of taking advantage of all the technology within the next-gen consoles. They just don't. I mean, they're barely able to optimize a game to play on current consoles. So, you know, now as far as compatibility, backwards compatibility, for the most part, you can, at least in the past, and I'm not saying that this will apply in the future, but for the most part, when you get a new console, you can play previous games on it. There are exceptions, of course. If things change radically, you know, go to an entirely different architecture, then no, that's not going to work. But what you can't do is play games for the next console on the previous one, which is perfectly logical. That makes sense. But the idea that if Giants developed a Farm Sim for current consoles, that you would not be able to play it on the next generation of consoles, I don't know, coin toss. I'd be willing to. Are we over far enough? We are not. Oh, a little bit dicey. A little bit dicey. Oi. All right. And as I'm looking up there, I realized that, as always, forgot to put my lift axle down, and then I damn near wrecked the truck reaching over to do it. So, like I said, we can split the difference on whether or not that's valid. But I do think it sort of confirms that the audience that Giants is most concerned about is the casual console player. And that's fine. You know, like I was saying earlier, you got to make money in this life. You do you. And I think that just sort of leaves the more realistic PC player, the more realistic farmer that likes to play on PC or does play on PC, we're just sort of out, you know? And it's not the end of the world, but I don't know if Farm Sim 2021 is going to be worth getting. I will most likely get it. I'll pre-order it. I'll try it on day one. Whatever. But I'm less confident in the next iteration of Farm Sim than I've ever been in any pending release of Farm Sim. And that's saying something, because FS19 was, I sort of knew it was going to be a letdown. I just didn't know how much of a letdown. But we'll see. I think a lot of people are going, rather than going from 19 to, I'm just going to call it 2021. I know it's not going to be called 2021 or whatever. But rather than a lot of players moving from FS19 to FS 2021, I think a lot of players are going to go from FS19 to FS17. I think FS17 is going to be our high water mark. I think that's going to be the best version of the game for the way that we like to play. I think the mods are, I mean, for me, that is as good as it got. I miss Gearbox. I miss more realistic. I miss Proceed. You know, there were so many mods that came together to make FS17 a really, just a really realistic farming experience. The best maps that I know of are for 17, like my favorite maps, which would be Coldborough Park, Selby Farm, yeah, others, but those two certainly at the top of my list. So, yeah, we'll see where it all goes. We'll see where it all goes. I don't know if you know what went down with me and Cattle and Crops. I don't know if you know that story. I was a Kickstarter donor. I gave them enough money to be a gold member, whatever. It wasn't a fortune, you know, but it was a chunk of money. And that's when the game was somewhere between tech demo and other. And, you know, as a Kickstarter donor, I mean, I don't believe that the customer is always right, and I don't believe that buying something gives you the right to be abusive to people or to, you know, you're a customer, right? That's all you are. Just cool your boots. I definitely get that. That is 100% valid. I also understand that as a customer, particularly for something that is being crowdsourced, you know, the little gold star next to my name should mean something to the developers, because not only did I fund their project financially, but I also believe in them, and I'm interested enough in their project to fund it before it's even done. To buy it for, what, 3 times, 4 times what retail was forecast to be before it's even done. Hang on, let's hop out here and take a look at some... Well, we can take a look at 2 things. We can take a look at a... Don't wreck the truck. We can take a look at a Naturalux skybox. Get straight. There we go. There we are. And we can also take a look at some glowing fog effects. See those buildings in the distance? How they're just sort of glowing unnaturally? That's the fog effect. Nothing can be done about it. So a lot of developers, you know, they sort of, for lack of a better word, they outsource their customer service roles to very enthusiastic fans of their product. And they let their forum serve as a de facto customer service portal, staffed by people that aren't being paid and that, as far as I know, have 0 training and really no interest in taking care of customers. They're just people that really like the game. And they tend to white knight a lot, and they tend to be very petty. You know, you get your Napoleon complex going, and it turns into a shit show. It's something that, fortunately, in my business, I've never had to tell a customer to stop doing. But if anybody ever said, you know, this is how we handle our customer service, I would tell them, you got to stop. You need professionals doing that, whether it's going to cost you money or not. Or just do away with the forum and tell people to send an email to the developers directly. So on the forum, on the Cattle and Crops forum way back, I reached out and said, hey, you know, I got some questions about direction, and, you know, the game will be done when it's done. I'm not busting your balls about the fact that it's taking so long. I'm just curious about some things, because I don't seem to be seeing a lot of progress, and I'm concerned. I didn't make an investment. Like, I'm not expecting to get paid back for this. I'm just curious. And, you know, I'm one of the people that believed in you, and I'm one of the people that cares about the success of this project. And instead what I got was some moderator flapping his e-dick around and just being a moderator on a gaming site. And, you know, it is what it is. What's going on up here? We have another closed exit. Game. Oh dear. Oh. Ah. Barely. So I ended up reaching out to the developers and telling them, hey, delete my account. And they said, well, you know, you're not going to get a refund. And I told them I'm not interested in a refund. I'm interested in making it clear to you that your customer service is so bad and your game is so broken that I would rather lose over $100 than have the possibility of ever trying to load this thing up again. It's that bad. And yet when I saw that that announcement from Giants, I thought, well, maybe Cattle and Crops is, you know, maybe that's the direction we got to go in. Maybe they've gotten it together in the past year and a half. So I checked, and fairly recently there are some comments like, you got to quit calling this early access, and this is a tech demo. And I think, yep, that's where we were a year and a half ago. And they say they're going to be ready June. They're supposed to be like full release. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So that's what's going on. More or less, that's it. Yeah, there you can see those trees in the distance. It's not the trees themselves, it's the sky behind them that the two just aren't blending together. Yeah. Like over, oh, it's hard to do it. Hard to do it while I'm driving. I don't want to wreck the truck. And there's no active pause. But yeah, you see what I'm getting at. You see what I'm getting at. We're speeding a little bit. Let's slow it down. Set the cruise control. What else is going on? I uninstalled Uplay. Canceled my Uplay Plus membership. Uninstalled Ghost Recon Wildlands. Uninstalled Breakpoint. Uninstalled everything. Uninstalled Division. It's just not it's not my kind of gaming. I finally got in Breakpoint. I finally got the most rare, the best gun in the game. You can only get it in the raid. It took me 5 weeks of doing the raid to finally get it. I finally got it. It's underwhelming, for one thing, and it's also looks like something from a Renaissance fair. It's got that Fortnite look to it, which I know, you know, everybody's going for because they want that Fortnite audience. They want that Fortnite money. All right, that's fair enough, but that's not my kind of game. So I got all those uninstalled, and I got Squad reinstalled. Hey, check out these signs now as we go past them, as you see traffic going past the signs. Watch how they just sort of blink on and off. Like there's no lighting on the signs themselves anymore. And yeah, needs a bit of adjustment, in my opinion. I got Squad reinstalled. I'm doing a lot of training. I'm learning to do the mouse and keyboard thing, which is, I've never played a shooter that way. I've always played on gamepad, and it's there's going to be a learning curve. Fortunately, I've got like a 2.5 million DPI mouse that's made for games exactly like that, and I've got a gamepad, a left-hand gamepad. It basically takes the ASDW portion of the keyboard, you know, where your hand would be, and moves it to a separate pad that's off to the side, and it's got a little thumbstick and some extra buttons and macros and things. So it makes playing games like that a lot easier, but there's still going to be a learning curve for me. So I just need to bite the bullet, get through it. I also need to make up my mind about Tarkov. I say I'm on the fence. What I really am is just, I haven't found a way to rationalize it yet, but I think I am going to get Tarkov at some point. Unfortunately, the version of Tarkov I want is like $179 because it comes with everything forever. Basically, it's like a golden ticket, season pass. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that's what's going on, and it's been this past week that sort of spurred me to make some of these changes. You know, I couldn't talk, so I couldn't record. But I came in here a couple times just to game, and I realized that there's not a single title that I own right now that has any interest for me whatsoever. I'm so completely burned out on gaming. And I took a couple days to think about why. And what I realized is, the grinding aspect of any type of loot-based game can really take the fun out of gaming. You're playing some of the main missions in Division for the umpteenth time with randoms. I'm looking around and it's like, is anybody really enjoying this? I mean, we go through them so quickly, and we've done them so many times. It's just rote. It's just repetition. You just burn through them. There's never a question of whether or not we'll finish. There's never a question of whether or not we'll make it through it without anybody even being downed. We just burn through them. And it's like, this isn't fun. This is just monotony. This is just grinding. And it was time to go. Had to uninstall all that stuff. When I play squad, I feel, even in training, I feel an actual, like, there's definitely a shiver. That game is extremely intense. And there's nothing really predictable about it, because when you play it for real, when you come out of the training, there's no AI. There's no possibility of the same thing happening twice, because you play against not just a different person, but an entirely different group of people. So even their dynamic is different. You're a different group of people. I mean, I suppose on some server somewhere, two identical groups of 20 or 40 or whatever, they get together. But for the most part, you're going to have people swapped in and out, so it's going to be different every single time you play it. And, the spawns are different, everything's different. So I want that. I don't want that repetitious grind anymore. And I also, you see at the end of my videos, I have a end title card with a weekly schedule. You're not going to see that anymore. I'm taking the schedule down. We're not going to be on a schedule. When I come in here to game, I'm just going to record whatever I want. That's why I'm recording this today rather than ATS. Just wanted to record it. It's been a minute since we've done a Euro truck video. So yeah, we're just going to do whatever we want from now on. I look back at the past few months and I realize the videos have become a little stale. And I think in the same way that those main missions, doing them over and over, becomes like, oh, great, got to do this now. There were days when I came in here and, I wanted to farm, but it was time to record a truck video, or I wanted to record a truck video and it was time to farm, or anything, any combination. And so I wasn't playing to have fun. I was playing to tick a box, to record a video. And I know you could probably tell that. You could probably pick up on that in the quality of the video. So I want to have fun again. I want to enjoy myself gaming, and I want you to be able to pick up on that when you watch the videos, and I want us all to just have a great time together. It's gaming. It's supposed to be fun. What's more fun than playing games? We're literally playing games. If this isn't fun, then we are definitely doing it wrong. And I'm also going to bring a lot more things to the channel as far as racing. I think iRacing has to be the direction to go in. Nobody wants to watch me race AI. I mean, really, who cares? It's AI. It's how difficult is it set? Is that hard? Is that easy? Patterns, you can cheese the AI in even the best AI. You can cheese it. So, okay. Now here are signs, and they still have the lights on. Okay. I thought that deactivated all the lighting. Okay. I'll have to hop on that thread and make an edit. Okay. Very cool. What was I talking about? iRacing. Yeah, I think it's going to have to be iRacing, and I think it's, again, it's that unpredictability, the spontaneity of, what are we going to see? Unknown, man. Unknown. Could be anything. Could be anything from, I got crashed on the pace lap yesterday. I shit you not, at Le Mans. I qualified fourth. I thought about starting from the pit, and I thought, you know what? It's me and 3 other people that can drive fast. We should be able to make it through, right? Turn 1. And as we're gridding, some French guy gets on the radio and says, "Attention, GT3 drivers, we will wait 2 seconds after green. 2 seconds." And I thought, man, that's a terrible idea. That is not going to work out the way you want it to work out. And I'll tell you why. First off, a quarter of the people didn't even hear what you just said. Not that they didn't understand you. Like, they don't have their radio function on. They did not hear you. A quarter of the drivers heard you but didn't understand you. Language, accent, who knows. Let's say a quarter of them heard you and are going to ignore you and get the jump on you, get a 2-second jump on you. And another 25%, right? They agree with you, but now what do we do about that? Is it 1,000 go 1,000, or is it 1,000 to 1,000 go 1,000? Is somebody going to call it out? It's just a bad idea. It's not going to work. And sure enough, it's a partial pace lap. You don't do a full pace lap at Le Mans. So we started from just coming out of Blanchimont and Blanchimont. What? Maison Blanche. Just coming out of Maison Blanche, and the light turns green before you get to the chicane. The guy in front of me, P2, he takes off. Well, screw this. I take off, right? So I go from fourth to second, and second goes from second to first. Things are fine so far. And going into the first of the 2 chicanes, I look in my mirror, and I see the car that was next to me, the car that would have been third, next to me, has now passed first, and I don't even think he hit the brakes. So as I was coming across from the pit entrance, if you know that chicane, as I was coming across from the pit entrance to start my entry into the chicane, this fool came up on my left and really didn't even stop. Had he not hit me, I think he would have gone straight into the pits or into the wall or something. He certainly wouldn't have made it through the chicane. He was at entirely the wrong angle. So he knocked me out, he knocked himself out, and, right, that's iRacing. So I guess that's my way of saying you have no idea what you're going to see when you're racing against people. Here we go. So I want to bring that in, and I just want there to be more fun. It's the best word I can use to describe it, and that's my goal. Let's have some fun. So we ran a little bit long today, not too bad, just a few minutes, but we'll get parked down here and we'll call it. And there you have it. Yeah, it's been my week. I'm glad that this happened. I'm glad I got sick. It was Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson said every crisis is an opportunity. It was either Thomas Jefferson or Matthew McConaughey. Pretty sure it was Jefferson. Yeah. But it's true, and it's not inherently an opportunity. What it is something that interrupts you and forces you to get creative. And what I did when I couldn't game for a few days is took some time to think about where I'm at with gaming. You know, what it means to me, what it's come to mean to me, what I want it to continue to mean to me. I love it. I really do. But I had really burned out on it, and I think feeling like I was beholden to the channel is what did it. The channel should be about gaming. Gaming shouldn't be about the channel. Oh, put that in a fortune cookie, ill will. Right. Here we go. And I think this one, maybe? I think we're gonna have to run over our own sign here, but I feel like I've done this one before and we can just cut it. You know what I mean? And yeah, because there's always this guy that can't get off his butt and flag us in there. Thank you, sir. You know what? Oh yeah, we got it. We got it. That tree is going through some changes. I think about things like that, and I think at some point there will be a game, there will be AI with that's essentially like people. It's just people doing stuff. So, God. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. Pretend that didn't happen. You know what it is? Well, you know who it is. It's me. That's what's causing these problems. But I swear to God, man, it's these steering trailers. It's these European steering trailers. They're always like, they're always helping me a little too much. Stop helping. Stop helping and maybe I'd be able to do this. No, it's not that. It's just me. This is my, my kryptonite. You'd think for as much as I play this game that it wouldn't be, but it surely is. Two swings. Like always. Right. Set the brake. Wipers off. Lights off. Engine off. Let's see how we did. Oh, no. How late? 15 minutes. Yeah, I suppose. Well, there you have it. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out The Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of European Truck Simulator 2. We'll see you next time. Take care now.